Welcome to Elevate Your Event, your favorite podcast for transforming fundraising events. Join us weekly for expert tips and creative ideas to make your next event a standout success.
Welcome to Elevate Your Event, the podcast that's all about taking your fundraising game to the next level. Today, we're celebrating our 100th episode with stories, laughs, and a few surprises. From hilarious event fails to powerful arrival strategies, this milestone episode is packed with lessons learned and plenty of behind-the-scenes fun. Let's dive in.
Yeah, here we are.
I love the music.
Elevate your event. Oh man, 100 episodes.
Can you believe it?
I can't believe 100 episodes. That's
a milestone.
That is a huge milestone, dude. It's amazing. I can't believe we've made it this far. 100 episodes.
I'm trying to remember what we did in episode 1.
I remember it was a introduction of you and how you started the company.
I remember now, yes.
You know, all that.
I kind of know that story, unfortunately. I've told it about 1,000
You're very
times.
close to that story.
Yes.
Oh, well, hey, I thought that it would be fun if we could talk about a few I have a couple episodes that kind of stood out to me over the seasons, and so I'll bring those up, and then James or Tyler can cut in some clips from those episodes.
Sure.
And then I had ChatGTP write me a roast for you.
Oh, I love chat.
Yeah. So I gave it a few things. I haven't read this yet, so this will be us experiencing this roast
let's
together.
Do it. Chat knows me very well, so this could get really deep.
Okay, so the roast of Jeff Porter, CEO of Handbid. Okay, built for boldness, powered by mints is the title of this roast. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the roast of Jeff Porter, the only tech CEO who could sell auction software while wearing cowboy boots, chewing mints like they owe him money, and casually sipping whiskey like he's at a honky-tonk instead of a fundraiser.
Hey, by policy, we don't drink unless the auctions are over. So.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah. Now, Jeff, they say Handbid is bold and unconventional, and nothing screams bold like country music blasting from your office while you try to convince nonprofits that this app will totally work on their guest-cracked iPhone 6S.
That's right. No more 6S.
Let's start with the hair. Jeff's signature almost in place look. It's not messy, it's not styled, it's just rebelliously consistent. Like it knows it runs a SaaS company, but wishes it ran a cattle ranch.
Hey, you know what? 30 seconds or less is my prep time. My wife is jealous, I can tell you.
And when Jeff dresses up, which in Jeff speak means the boots get polished, not swapped out, it's like Garth Brooks gave a TED Talk on a mobile bidding.
I love Garth Brooks.
Yeah. But let's talk culture. Under Jeff's leadership, Handbid has become known for pilots, not passengers.
Yes.
Which is great, unless Jeff's the one flying after 3 glasses of Glenlivet at the client Gala. Oh, he doesn't. We don't drink at galas.
No, we don't drink until the gala's
right.
over.
That's right. After the gala.
It's way too much fun to look at all the drunk people coming to check out.
Yeah, that's
being
true.
the only sober
You want to
one.
be present for that.
That's
exactly. Right. Oh man. Okay. We love a CEO. We love a CEO who mingles, but maybe not with the open bar. Like it's an old friend from college. This is really roasting. I don't know.
It is really roasting. I don't really spend a lot of time.
I know. I don't. Jeff's the kind of guy who reads David and Goliath and sees himself as David.
Oh, 100%.
Except David was probably a little more modest about how awesome his slingshot was. Jeff built the slingshot, branded it, white labeled it, and now rents it out for hybrid fundraising events.
That's right. Infantry versus artillery. Malcolm Gladwell. I mean, if you haven't read the book, it's a good one, I'll tell you. And the Bible stories.
Speaking of that, he's a visionary, truly. I mean, who else could convince charities to run mobile auctions in 2011 when only a fraction of guests had smartphones? Or that rubber chicken energy was something to aspire to.
Yeah, starting with my board. That was a fun conversation. And my mother-in-law, by the way.
Let's see. But despite the quirks, the boots, the mints, the Spotify rep full of nothing but Luke Combs, we've got to admit, Jeff built something pretty remarkable. Handbid isn't just auction software. It's a weird, wild, joyful culture of problem solvers, risk takers, and people who laugh as hard as they work. So here's to Jeff Porter, folks.
Thank you so much. Don't you have the laugh track? Come on. Or the applause track or what?
Yeah, there we go.
There you go.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Oh, man.
That was mild.
Yeah, that wasn't
You should
so
have
bad.
brought my wife in here. She could have roasted
she could have put some stuff in there, and we
sure.
could have made it really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that one of the cool things about Elevate Your Event as a podcast, and there's not really a lot out there that really speak from a place of as much experience as you have, and then the guests that we have on the show.
100%.
And so there's a lot of episodes out there that I was looking at was like, oh, this was a really good episode. There's like a lot of great stuff there. One of my favorite was creating immersive event experiences with Joey. Is it Goon?
I know, and he actually sent me the coolest gift.
Utopia Experience.
Yes, and we actually still quote some of the things he said.
Yeah.
In that one.
The 3C model really unpacks why people come to events. And we say that they come for 3 reasons. Number 1, and the first C, is that people want to come for content. They want you to teach them something new. 2 is connection, is that people want some element of social interaction and networking. And the third C is when people say we need to evolve and change, we're like, okay, but how much are you willing to lean into this third C and understand that it's so critical if you want to create an event that people want to come back to in its community. It's that people want to be part of something that is more meaningful than just themselves as individuals. This larger aspirational purpose. Mm-hmm. And so anyway, quite simply put, just philosophically and psychologically, people are looking for community.
That was a great episode in the stuff
arrival experience. I actually said that to my board one day after our event, and they're like, "So what do you want to do next year?" I said, "I want to continue to create an amazing rival experience." Who doesn't?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Right. What does that look like? What goes into it? Yeah.
And for us, at Handbid, I mean, it's constantly coming up, and it is another initiative this quarter to advance it even further, because we did, over the last year, do that. And this came up also, obviously, with a recent podcast, too. We were talking about, like, how do you innovate? And we innovate around, like, what we call, like, find the bottleneck. Mm-hmm. Solve that, and then if you've solved it when the bottleneck moves somewhere else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right? And so for us, it was one of those things where, like, hey, where's the bottleneck at events? It's usually at check-in still. I mean, I don't think most of the technology companies out there have figured that out. And so we were kind of inspired by the whole Chick-fil-A story of how they were like the worst performing drive-through in like their segment of the industry, and then they went to number 1. Actually, they went to number 2, and the only reason they went to number 2 because I think the metric was like cars.
Oh, pass through the
Yeah, they actually have like 5 times the number of cars in their in their drive-through than everybody else. So their time in the line is still a little bit longer. But when there's 50 cars in line versus Arby's that has 2, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So anyway, but what they did to solve the problem was they pushed people out away from the menu board into the line. So we started doing that too, like with check-in. So just those types of things. And a lot of it was inspired by that podcast with Joey, just talking to Joey about how do you like when you talk about, all the other things in that episode about how you make things immersive and how you make people feel like they belong there and they're comfortable. It all starts with they're not pissed off when they walk in the door. Right. And so that's, over the last year, that's what we did. I mean, we implemented tap to pay on iPhone and Android, and we started empowering people with mobile devices to get out into the line and checking people in. And honestly, I mean, we just did. I don't go to many events anymore, but we just went to one where there were 600 or 700 people, and I never saw a line.
Well, I went to the Whiskey, Wine, and Wishes.
Yeah, Make-A-Wish. Yeah,
Make-A-Wish Foundation event, and I was confused when I first got there because there was
you thought the event was over.
It was like so much lack of a line that I was like, wait a second. It was great.
It was more of like the 5 people rushed up to you to check you in because nobody exactly.
Yeah.
But that's what we want, right? I
Right.
mean, that was the whole point because what used to happen in the industry was there was the massive line of laptops, and we still have competitors that have printers they bring.
Oh, geez, yeah.
But the massive line of laptops and the line marshal who sits in front and is like, thank you, Mr. Labriola. June over here will help you get checked in. And you walk over there and you're standing and she's sitting and she's typing on her and you're leaning over her and, giving her your information. And then she's got to take a card swiper that may or may not work and swipe your credit card into a web page or whatever. And we took that and said, we're going to put 5, 10, depends on how many you want, 5, 10, 15 people on iPhones. We're going to hand them a stack of bidder cards and say, find somebody when they walk in the door. Meet them when they walk in.
Yeah. Exactly.
So anyway, the
experience.
Thanks to Joey, because Joey, I mean, you started talking about like the various ways that you're trying to create that unforgettable experience. And, I think we probably in that particular episode spent a lot of time talking about arrival and what does arrival mean, and even before arrival. Mm-hmm. Like how do you create the experience?
Even
because
like
it's going to start. Well, as a concert goer as I am, and owning a box at Fiddler's Green, which is a local venue, and going to those, I will 100% tell you, the arrival experience for any event, especially at a venue, starts in the parking lot.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Knowing that at one point I had to park for an event around the corner. It was downtown. They gave no instruction on parking, and it was pouring rain.
You're driving around.
Well, I was like, is there a way I can park in this building and get to the venue inside? And there wasn't.
Yeah.
And maybe it's not their fault, but those are the types of things that really kind of, it's a downer.
Yeah.
So I dropped my wife off because,
you don't want her hair getting messed up.
Soaked, and then I got to run down the block in a suit and tie. Yeah. Those are arrival experiences I'll never forget.
Yeah. Yeah. And then again, there's just been so many episodes with different team members and millennials and awesome guests that are part of some amazing nonprofits and things like that have just been great. But one of my favorites this past year probably was the holiday extravaganza. Not only because Elise came dressed up as the Grinch.
Viewing this podcast on YouTube, you're missing the fact that one of our special guests, Elise Druckenmiller here, is dressed up like the Grinch.
That's fantastic.
And if she misses a single Grinch question in our trivia, she's going to have to pay. Yes.
But because nobody freaking knew any of your questions.
I know. I'm thinking, okay, so
they were softballs too.
We're a good group of Christian believing folks. So I'm gonna throw some Bible trivia in there. But the funny thing about it was, I was like, I don't really know what their Bible knowledge is. So let's not start with that. Let's tee it up with some softballs. Let's go like Christmas movies, Christmas music, Christmas tradition, pop culture stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. And here's the sad part. Okay. So I would say maybe a couple of weeks before that, we went to a holiday event at this place up in Broomfield, and my daughter has adult special needs, and this place has a very similar group of folks. My daughter doesn't actually attend this as a day program, but it's very similar. We roll in there for trivia day, and similar types of questions. I might have actually stolen one or two from there to put in ours. These kids knew all the answers. So I was like, you got to be kidding me. I mean, they're like, so what is the Grinch's brain full of? And here's kids like spiders,
That's
I'm
right.
like, you knew that question. That is impressive.
That's
right?
good.
My
Yeah.
staff does not. Okay, so maybe you shouldn't know what, the Grinch song or whatever, but it was still, some of them were a little shocking.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was accused that it was too hard.
I don't know. I watched it and I was like, I mean, some of the Bible stuff I was kind of like, maybe, but most of the other pop culture stuff was.
But what do you do with the Bible? It's like, so what were Jesus' parents' names? I mean, come on, we got to go up a level from that, right? I mean,
Jesus was born in a manger.
What town? I'm not sure half of them would have gotten that answer. So it was like, okay, so we know he's born in Bethlehem, so let's take it up a notch. Who else was born in Bethlehem? Right?
All right, we're going to cut to the montage of them not answering any of those questions. That's awesome.
We used to do Handbid trivia too, and then it's just that got, I think, a little bit like we've done it so many times. We should go back and do it again. The Handbid stories are so much better than the trivia, though.
Yeah.
I mean, we could do one on technology, like how many people use an iPhone app versus the Android app versus the web, because I will tell you, it probably would shock a lot of our viewers.
Yeah.
Right? And just skip to the chase. Like 90% of the people walking in the door at a charity event have an iPhone in their hand.
Yeah.
And the app users tend to bid at least 3 times more than the web bidders on a phone. So there you go. But outside of that, just more of the stories are the funniest things.
Yeah.
Checkout stories, check-in stories, all that stuff.
Well, and it's like one of those things too, like at an event, it's like you never know what's going to happen.
Never.
Yeah. It's like you prepare for you prepare the best you can, and then it's like all of a sudden something happens. What's the weirdest thing that's ever happened at an event? Like we talked about the Derby Day thing with, that whole, this year we got great internet, we got great everything, we're solid as a rock, and then like ABC goes down, or NBC crashes. Yes, it's like, okay. But what's another thing, and you maybe shared it before, I've never heard it though, that it's like, oh, the power went out or some crazy thing at an event.
Well, it was funny. I mean, I'd been asked those questions like, what happens if the power goes out? What is your contingency plan? I'm like, well, I mean, people can still bid on their phones until their batteries die.
That's true, yeah.
But, those are the people who are nervous about change or whatever. I mean, we've seen such a variety of issues. I've seen like married couples who were hosts get in a fight on the stage. I saw a guy that was honored at an event, and they had given him this gift up on stage, the kids had, and because he was like a big sponsor of their organization. And he wasn't really paying attention. He was incredibly inebriated, and he literally falls face first off the stage. So everybody's picking him up. The executive director walks down the aisle. You could see it on her face, like, what else can happen? She walks out into the foyer, and I was standing there, and this guy comes out of the bathroom, and he is white as a ghost. He's choking.
Oh, what?
Okay.
She all happening at the same time?
She flips him around. She gives him the Heimlich. Food comes flying out of his mouth. He's like, you saved me. And she walks over to the bar and orders a drink.
That sounds like a scene from a movie.
I know. I was like, that was pretty awesome.
Oh, my goodness.
She's like, my guest of honor just fell on his face. He's probably broken a couple of teeth. This guy almost died in my bathroom.
It's like, hey, we just hit rock bottom. All we can go is up from here.
That's right. Hey, look at this. No one's dead. Hey, I guess. I don't know. But, yeah, you just have to prepare for it. I mean, and we've done our event for 17 years. We've seen our own problems. And you think like, hey, you guys are event experts. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know? It just doesn't matter. I mean, we decided one year, you know this story, like we were going to convert from the Derby to a country music concert, and we brought in this sound guy who we thought was going to be awesome and amazing. We bring in a national band from Nashville who I will absolutely tell you was not cheap. And when I say not cheap, add a 0 to whatever you think the band costs. And this sound guy couldn't get the sound to work.
Oh, my gosh.
And I just remember the tour manager saying, just get him out of my way, and I will deliver a concert to you. And this guy took over, and we were running cables everywhere, and I had all of my board helping. And, yeah, I mean, we got it done, and we actually had a concert. But these are the things that, you just can't plan for.
Right.
Either. What do you do?
Yeah, and so really, do you think it's you plan the best you can, and then is it a positive attitude? And I think what I kind of gather is there's a sense of make it work, and you
roll with it.
You roll with it, and you learn how to solve problems and be agile.
Yeah. I mean, one year at our event, our caterer, well-intentioned, decided they were going to pre-mix the mint juleps. So mint juleps are a combination of pretty much sugar water and bourbon and some crushed up mint, right? I mean, it's not a complicated drink.
Right.
But if you've been to chemistry class, right, you understand that there's a different density of alcohol versus this. And if you don't have some sort of mechanism or machine that will continually mix it, it separates.
Right.
So they just put it in these lemonade urns, right?
And people were just drinking straight whiskey.
The alcohol's at the top.
Oh, so they're drinking straight water.
They're drinking straight
ice and
sugar water, right? And I was like, oh, this really sucks. And so I said, okay, but that's okay. You held some of the bourbon back, and we'll just start making them the right way. And he was like, he looks at his staff. You held some of the bourbon back, right? And they're like, no, we used it all. I'm like, awesome. So this guy came up to me. This is like one of the things we always tell people. It's like, have a problem solver that's not you.
Yeah.
Like, have somebody that you're going to say, go solve this problem for me, because you're theoretically, to people that are listening to this podcast, they have other jobs to go do. Mm-hmm. And so this guy was one of those problem solvers, and he's like, what are you doing? I said, here's my credit card. Go to the liquor store. Do not buy the top shelf. Go down a shelf or two.
Yeah.
Buy all the bourbon they have and bring it back here. Yeah, so he came back with a couple of, 2 or 3 cases of bourbon, and we just...
The event must go on. We need to do a series where we interview people. It's like the event must go on, and then like someone tells a story, Yeah. Maybe next time what we should start doing is, as we have people on the podcast, we should just ask them that one question, and then we can do like a whole series of shorts of the event must go on, and
100%.
then someone tells a good story.
Yeah, they're good stories.
Is there an episode that stands out to you over the past 100?
I mean, there's been so many, and we've had so many really good guests on. I remember Hannah Berger; she was one of the ones that I've had a long history with.
If the purpose of your fundraising event is to really kind of reach out to a new audience or kind of expand your donor base by having your donors or supporters bring their friends, what are you doing with that on the other side of that? Do you work with your clients on that?
Oh, absolutely. Right. Events can't just be about the transactions that happen night of, or even the sponsorships that come in because of the event. They have to be about the relationships that you're creating or deepening through the event. Right.
She helps a lot of these nonprofits, kind of do more of the maturity around development side of things. And so we had a really good conversation with her because, she had definitely recommended some clients to us, and they were some of the easiest clients we had worked with in terms of, kind of a check-in process, because she had communicated to them the importance of capturing this information at the door. And the quote she used, which we continue to use with people, is an event could be the entry point to a relationship with somebody. And so when you put fake data into a system because you don't want to kind of create a line, or you don't want to inconvenience somebody by giving you their information, you're really kind of, eliminating the opportunity to maybe have a lifelong relationship with them.
Yeah.
And so that's always been one of the things where people probably the biggest rub, or I would say where we butt heads with clients a lot in a good way, in a good, hey,
Iron
we can be your
iron.
vendor or we can be your consultant too.
Yeah.
You really need to rethink your process, because your goal at check-in certainly is to not have lines, and no one wants that, right? And people want to deliver an amazing arrival experience, but I still need to know who you are, right? Because I need to take advantage of that to follow up with you. And, I can tell you right now, Chick-fil-A's goal is not to have no lines in the drive-thru. Because if that was their goal, they have failed miserably. Because every time I go to a Chick-fil-A, there's a line.
Yeah.
But what was their goal? To keep the line moving.
Right.
And that is the one thing that we try to explain to people. They're like, you get on the phone with them. And Hannah and I really kind of resonated together on this conversation, because it's like, can you guarantee me there'll be no lines? I'm like, okay, so let me ask you this. How many people come to your event? Well, we have about 800 to 1,000, and we need to get them all in an hour. Okay, so you have an hour for check-in, you have 800 people. We start doing some math with them to tell them, okay, first of all, unless you have 800 people doing check-in, if 800 people show up all at once, you're still going to have a line.
Yeah.
Right. So let's be practical about this. How do we just get 800 people in the door in an hour? That's the answer. It's not, do I have a line or not have a line? Is the line moving? And am I getting the information I need? Because the answer to is the line moving isn't to shortcut the absolute objectives of what it is to get somebody in the door. And so that was a good one for sure.
Yeah. Well, and to that point, I was thinking the other thing is with the whole line, and it goes back to earlier in the conversation, like what kind of experience are we giving people as they arrive? And I know Disney does a good job of distracting people from them knowing that they're in a line. Sometimes you like go into a thing and then there's like all this stuff to look at and you're like in line still, but you're still kind of having an experience as you're moving through the 100%.
line. And they so think Tower of Terror, right? Which is now I think Guardians of the Galaxy, but like in that ride, I mean, you are walking through an experience.
Right.
Right. And it's the same, like Universal does the same thing, right? And the Velocicoaster, by the way, is one of have you ridden this thing?
No, I haven't.
Oh, it is probably the best roller coaster I've ever ridden. Okay. But if you're talking about a 75 to 80 minute wait, unless you have like an express pass or something, but you walk through there and it's a series of videos and it's a story around what the ride is about. And I think a lot of the amusement parks have wised up to that. Because I remember back when I was a kid, I was in D.C., so we'd go to King's Dominion. You just sat in the line. Yeah. And the only thing interesting in the line was the people.
You got good at people watching.
People watching, So 100%. And that's the thing, like there's some good tactics there, depending on what your preferences are. You can hand them a glass of champagne when they walk in the door. If you go down to the barbecue place down in Colorado Springs, you walk in the door, there's just a trough of beer.
Yeah.
And you can just keep drinking beers in line while you wait. And when you get up to the front, you just put your empties up on the counter and they charge you for them.
Yeah, and then Texas Roadhouse gives you those peanuts to just eat and throw on the ground.
Yeah. So, I mean, there is ways to kind of distract people, but there's also ways to keep people moving. And that was the big deal when we studied the whole Chick-fil-A model was they just keep the line moving. Mm-hmm. And so that's the thing where, people that went through it were like, oh, my God, the line is forever, but you really are not on your break very much. And so.
Yeah, there's a difference between traffic and gridlock traffic where it's like you can get out of your car and just step over.
As long as you feel like you're making progress, you'll sit in it.
Totally.
Right? So that's an important aspect of it. But yeah, the Hana one was definitely good because she likes, rightfully so, she wants to emphasize with her organization, look, if you're going to have a professional development organization, if you're really going to start nurturing these people, events plays a role in that. Mm-hmm. And you need to get accurate information there.
Yeah.
In a smart way, by the way, because I've seen a lot of really dumb ways to get information at events. So.
Well, listen, I'm excited for the next 100. That we just continue to provide great value and knowledge and wisdom to everybody who participates and hangs out. Make sure you like and subscribe. You get notified every single time we release a new episode. We got some great guests coming up this next 100 episodes.
Love it.
And some more great stories and experiences.
Awesome. So, thanks everybody for listening to this podcast. We love it. We really appreciate all of our listeners and viewers.
Yes. All right. Until next time.
Happy fundraising.
If you enjoyed our show, please take a moment to leave us a review. You can find us on Apple, Google, and Spotify. Don't forget to subscribe for more great content. And if you're a fan of video, check us out on YouTube. Until next time, happy fundraising.